Hi, class. Well, hey, this is the new normal for the next couple of weeks, so settle in, grab your notes. We're going to work on Unit 6, Day 4, because no one yet has told me what color to pick. I chose green, so we're going to do green today. Our goal today is to finish through these notes. As with all of my notes, if you need some more time to write things down, feel free to pause the video. If you don't understand anything, please send me a message. With this particular course, you can reach out to me via email, Remind app, any of those, and I'm happy to help out. So let's dive in. First, we're going to start off with special right triangles. This section is near and dear to me. This is a very close section to my heart. It's very special, if you will. Pun intended. Just because I'm not there doesn't mean you can't get my puns. So we're going to be looking at first the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. This comes from the fact that there is a 45, 45, and a 90 degree. If you see I have X here, marks the length of these two sides. These two sides are always exactly the same. So the one that we're looking at that we don't know for sure then is the hypotenuse. To get the length of the hypotenuse, we take the length of the leg times square root of 2. So this is the length of the leg times square root of 2. So in this case, the length of each leg is x, so x times square root of 2. Oh, square root of 2. Already making mistakes. There we go. That is the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle theorem. So if you know that the length of one of these legs is 2, then the length of the hypotenuse is 2 times square root of 2. If you know that it's 14, this side and this side are 14, then that's 14 times square root of 2. The 30, 60, 90 triangle is a little bit different. In this triangle, the hypotenuse is twice as long as the shorter leg, and the longer leg is radical 3 times as long as the shorter leg. So to get the hypotenuse, what we do is we take the shorter leg, and we take that times 2. So an abbreviation of that is 2 times short, or in this case, it would be 2x. And then the longer leg is the short leg times square root of 3. So in this case, it would be x times square root of 3. So that's the top part. This bottom part down here, it says find the value of x and then write your answer in simplest radical form. So to do this, we're just going to refer back to the formula from up above. So this one, we're trying to find the hypotenuse, and we know the leg here. This is a 45, 45, 90. First thing you want to do is identify which one is it talking about. This one's talking about the 45, 45, 90. So we're trying to find the hypotenuse, and we know the leg times square root of 2. So we're trying to find the hypotenuse. That's our x. And our leg is length 6. So we get 6 times square root of 2. And that gives us x. That is simplest radical form, so we are done. This one, we know we're trying to find the hypotenuse, and we know the leg. This is also a 45, 45, 90. So again, it's hypotenuse equals leg. And I'm abbreviating hypotenuse HIP, HYP. It's cool to do that. It's HIP. Leg times square root of 2. So we know hypotenuse, that's what we're trying to find, is x. The leg is 9 square root of 2, and we're taking that times square root of 2. If you take the square root of 2 times square root of 2, you get 2. So we have 9 times 2, so that's 18. So x equals 18. Probably should box my answers. Be a good role model. This one is different. Number 3 is different than the other one. As you can see, this is 9 square root of 2 for the hypotenuse, and we're actually trying to find the leg. So this one's going to be a little bit different. So we still start out with the same starting part. So still the formula hypotenuse equals leg times square root of 2. But now hypotenuse is 9 square root of 2. Leg is your x, and we're taking it times square root of 2. So to get it by itself, what we want to do To get it by itself, what we want to do is we want to divide by square root of 2 on both sides. Boop, boop. So now we have boop, boop, x equals 9. Down here on the bottom, this doesn't tell us if it's a 45, 45, 90. But wait, it does, because it tells us that this and this are 12. So this must be the same length as this side. That means that this has to be 45 degrees, and this also has to be 45 degrees. So because those are both 45, 45, 45, 45, 90, we can use our 45, 45, 90 rule. Hypotenuse equals leg times square root of 2. Hypotenuse is x, leg is 12, times square root of 2. And we're done. 5, similar. This time it tells us that x and x are the same. And because, again, x and x are the same. Sorry. Because it tells us that x and x are the same. Then that means that we have hypotenuse equals leg times square root of 2. Hypotenuse is 8. Leg is what we're trying to find out. So that's our x times square root of 2. So to get x by itself, we're going to divide by square root of 2 on both sides. Square root of 2 on both sides. Now, this is not simplified, but we are done with this for this particular course. Like we don't simplify this anymore. This is called by having a radical in the denominator. It's not correct. If you marked this like on the ACT, for example, you'd be marked wrong because we didn't simplify rational. It's called rationalizing the denominator. Not going to worry about that yet. The next one, also a 45, 45, 90, because this and this show us that those angle measurements are the same. This is 90 degrees. That has to be 45, and that has to be 45 because there's only 90 degrees left. Divide by 2. So we're going to take hypotenuse, set it equal to leg times square root of 2. Hypotenuse we know is 5. Square root of 2 equals leg. Oh, I know that leg is x. My bad. Leg times square root of 2. Divide by square root of 2 on both sides. Boop, 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 boop. And you get x equals 5. And we are done. That's the first page. Flip. Next page, as you can imagine, we just did a bunch of 45, 45, 90. So now we're going to do 30, 60, 90. So this is up here. This one is a little bit different. And because it's a 30, 60, 90, we have one of the sides. And we need to figure out the other one. So this one, we're actually going to use two formulas. We're going to use hypotenuse, hip. Remember, it's hip to abbreviate it. 2 times short. And long. Equaling short times square root of 3. Now I'm using these two the way this is set up because I know that like the short. Hypotenuse, remember, is the side across from the 90 degrees. So that's going to be our x. So x equals 2 times 5 square root of 3. Simplify that. Take 2 times 5. You get x equals 10 square root of 3. We're not adding units to any of these. It's because it says find the value of each variable. So we're not finding the units. Oh, man. I lost. Come back. Come back. I believe in you. I believe in you. Come back. Come back to me. I'm using a new camera, so as you can expect, there's going to be some issues with it as I try to get it to like this piece of paper. I don't know what it's trying to autofocus on. Not the paper, apparently. I believe in you. You can do it. Autofocus. Boom. Go. You can see my beautiful table. Autofocus brought to you by Alright, All right, I'm going to try this. Give me a moment. Be right back. Okay, so, sorry. Took a bit, got it fixed. Whew. Long equals short times square root of 3. The long leg in this case is y, and the short leg is 5. So I have 5 square root of 3. So 5 square root of 3 times square root of 3. So because both of these are underneath a radical, we can combine them. So we get 5 times, so square root of 3 times square root of 3, we know that to be 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So y is 15. Next one, number 8. We're going to do hypotenuse equaling 2 times the short. We're starting with that one because we know the length of the hypotenuse. We know the length of the hypotenuse is 8. And we know 2 times the short is x. So we divide by 2 on both sides. And we get x equals 4. Now we can use that to find the length of the long side, because we know the length of the long side is equal to the short times square root of 3. So the length of the long side is y equals 4, because we know 4 is the length of the short side, times square root of 3. Next one, number 9. We've got long equals short times square root of 3. We know the length of the long is 18, so 18 equals x times square root of 3. Get x by itself, and we get x equals 18 square root of 3. And we know that that x part, that's our short. You can even write it, if you want to, next to where it is. That way you know which one's which. So to get the hypotenuse, that's equal to 2 times the short. Hypotenuse in this case is y. 2 times 18 over square root of 3. 2 times 18, multiply the numerators. 2 times 18 is 36. So we get y equals 36 times square root of 3. 18 over square root of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here and upload it. So the next video will cover the rest of the problems. See you soon.